Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel. Smash that like button. I really would appreciate it. And I just want to have a quick chat with you, conversation about some of the things that are happening, besides the fact that I'm a shiny mess here in my evening studio lighting. I just all my oil, all my grease is coming out. And yeah, try not to be a disco ball on this video. But I'm going through a lot of the news stories, and not just the news stories, but going through some of my emails, going through my messages, going through direct messages, and responding to clients, and just trying to get myself collected for the day and ready for the next, ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Friday. And, I think there's a lot that we need to talk about besides the news headlines and what's going on and what they're telling you and what they're saying, but what is actually happening, what people are feeling. And there's something that I don't like. There's something that I don't agree with. And that is the hurry up and buy this. And the reason why is because this time of year, we are December 14, 2023. And December is obviously after Thanksgiving, Black Friday it kicks off this period of time, but December is the push. Typically, usually, and I may get backlash, I may get flack for this, I may get hated on in the comments for this, for telling you guys this, but typically every year, YouTubers, no matter who they are, no matter what their channel is, no matter what, December, they typically try to put the pedal down and hammer it and move the chains, basically, in what is considered to be the strongest month of the year for YouTube creators to make the most money. And it really is, it starts from right before Black Friday, because they want to get the stuff out before Christmas, because that's when the sales are going to occur. So anything after Christmas is kind of like meh. And then January, they'll see a decline. But basically, it's like they used to call it Vlogmas, and everybody would try to post a video every single day. But in that, there would be a drive, there would be a push, there would be a call to action for the viewers to spend money, to buy something. And now I'm seeing this trend of 5 things to buy, or 5.5 things to buy, or 5.5 things to buy, or whatever, whatever. And I actually came across a situation just today where, I hate to say it, but somebody literally got physically ill. They got physically sick because of the stress and anxiety and essentially a panic attack that has fallen over them during this crisis. And this crisis is the economy, inflation, deflation, recession, savings, investment portfolios, the housing market, rent prices going up, food prices going up, everything, home insurance prices going up, the questionable job futures going, in the wrong direction. And it is literally getting people to the point where they're becoming physically ill. And they didn't really say it, but I feel like I'm going out on a limb here, making an assumption, okay? And it all boils down to financial stability, okay? Much like we discussed, landlords wanting to sign lease agreements that are longer than 12 months. It's because they're trying to find some form of financial stability in a point in time where that is literally going out the window. And now would be no better time than ever than to direct you guys to the comments, the description down below, for you to gain access to tools to prepare yourself for this attack against financial security, personal security, your identity, your online ID, your online identity with everything that's going on. And what the US and China are racing towards to try to shield each other from these secrets. But essentially at the same time, you got hackers in between, in the middle, in between time, coming after all of us. All of us. I think we have more. I would be willing to bet we have more Chinese hackers coming after Americans than we have Americans going after American hackers going after Chinese. Just my guess. But my problem is when I see these videos that are telling people to buy this and buy that and stockpile this and stock up on that and hurry up and buy before they're banned or whatever. Look, the simple fact of the matter is, and I got a video I'm putting together I'm going to bring to you guys tomorrow, but the simple fact of the matter is that folks they're locked and they're trapped in this never-ending spiral, this debt spiral, this poor financial, like, I don't want to call it literacy because I think people know. It's just that they get stuck in this rut and they get stuck in this trap, and then they feel like they owe it to somebody or somebodies to make Christmas magical. All the while, they can't afford to buy groceries because they don't have any money and their credit card's maxed out, yet they're trying to figure out how to buy gifts to put on this credit card when they really should be paying off the credit card and buying groceries. But needless to say, I don't think it's their fault. I don't think it's their fault. I think it's society's fault. I think it's the government's fault. I think it's businesses' fault for pushing this when businesses really, if you tear down the consumer enough, eventually you're not going to have any left, And they go at it from the standpoint of, hey, YouTuber, hey, influencer, hey, can you push this? Can you push that? Can you sell this? Can you sell that? Can you collaborate and affiliate and call to action and link this and link that to get people to spend money, swipe their credit card, charge money? And it's just like, but what if they ain't got it? Why are we telling people to buy things when we really should be telling people to save their money? Why are we telling people to buy things when we really should be telling people to invest? Why are we telling people to buy things when we should be telling people to get ready for retirement? And that doesn't include buying all the crap that gets peddled online. Most of it is junk and garbage. Why are we doing this? I get it. Granted, now, certain situations and certain circumstances, we need to be ready and be prepared. And that will require some financial investment. But I don't think it needs to be all the time, every time, 24/7, 365. So when I see somebody or talk to somebody or hear about somebody, which the messages I get, the folks that leave me messages, direct messages, contact me through my links below in the description, however you want to contact me, the folks that I chat with, the phone calls that we have, and they're telling me how they feel. They're telling me what they're worried about. They're telling me what is causing them stress and anxiety. And they're telling me they're getting physically ill from it. Well, that's huge. Okay, that's a big deal. Because if you can let a feeling or an emotion or a psychological problem affect you and impact you to the point of which you can get physically ill, then we need to have a real serious talk about solving this problem so it doesn't progress to be worse. And I got to tell you guys, 2024 looks like it's going to progress to be far, far worse, especially for those who are not paying attention, who are not ready, who are not prepared, who don't have people to have these conversations and discussions with because they have no one to talk to, or whoever they're talking to doesn't necessarily approach these subjects with the same rationale that others would, from the perspective of literally not wanting to see people fall by the wayside and become financially ruined. But it gets worse because as I see YouTubers and their channels declining and suffering, then things get a little bit out of hand. Then they get a little bit desperate. Then they get a little bit pushy. And then we then begin to see the perpetuation of this never ending cycle of buy this and buy that. Not because I want you to be ready and be prepared, but because I get a commission and a percentage and a cut, and I'm a paid promoter and sponsored by whomever to convince you to make this sale. And that really bothers me right now when there's so many people out there who really don't have it to do that. And literally everybody else's goal out there is to get you to do that, knowing that it's not going to be beneficial for you in the long run, or more than likely the short run. The short term, literally the next turnover of your billing cycle, when you get your credit card, and literally you're sitting there thinking, all right, do I pay my rent? Do I pay my car note? Do I pay my insurance? Do I pay my mortgage? Do I buy groceries? Do I pay my credit card bill? Do I pay my phone bill? Do I pay my kids' daycare or private school or whatever it may be? You have to make that choice. And at that point in time, you're not going to be able to go back and say, you know what, I made a terrible choice because I listened to some YouTuber convince me to buy some crap that I don't need. And now I can't afford to buy groceries. Now I can't afford to pay my rent. Now I can't afford to pay my mortgage. And now things are getting really out of hand. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm not sitting here trying to lecture anybody or throw anybody under the bus or point fingers or anything like that. I just wanted to share with you my thoughts, my opinions, my feelings about the situation that we're in, what I'm seeing, the tea leaves that I'm basically reading here, the forecast, the projections, the warning signs, the alerts that are all out there. And I think that some people just choose to ignore them. They would rather ignore them than to acknowledge them because, the former is easier than the latter. But if you honestly, really and truly want to see some form of positive change and growth and survival moving forward, then perhaps maybe we have to begin to really have serious conversations and talks and chats about what are we doing? Where are we going? How is this going to help? How is this going to hurt? What are my goals? What is my plan? What steps am I taking to actually execute on this? Otherwise, 2024 is going to be a huge disaster and folks are going to completely lose it. And a lot of the folks that you see, that you watch on YouTube that are out here trying to get you to spend your money and buy all this crap, they're going to disappear too because they can't cut it. They can't survive. They don't know any better. And when times are good and times are great, everything's good and hunky-dory. But when their views start to decline and their money starts to get skinny and the gravy train comes to a stop and the music stops and there's no more chairs left and they're getting kicked out of the game. Like I told you, there's way more people than there are chairs and the music is stopping. And when the music stops, the next game isn't going to start up for quite a while. And if you aren't ready and prepared for that, then it's going to be a huge learning curve for you, unfortunately. The games and the tricks and the schemes and the whatever you do, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not the same. The game is changing, okay? The game has changed. Like I said, it would. It has already. And a lot of folks, I don't think a lot of folks have understood that or realized it or wanted to accept it until today. And then they get hit in the face. They get socked in the mouth and realize, oh man, what the hell just happened? I feel sick. I feel ill. Whew. I ain't got nothing else to do. I ain't got nothing to fall back on. What am I going to do? Well, hopefully your plan isn't to fall back on those credit cards because that's a terrible idea. And again, like I told you guys the other day, I would not be sitting here focusing on improving my credit score. I would be sitting here focusing on things that matter way more, things that are far more important, and stocking up and stockpiling what matters most, what is going to allow you to get through this next phase, this next cycle, cross this next peak before you enter into the next valley. The essentials that are going to be far more effective in getting to the other side here. Okay, basically, there is a recovery. It's coming. I believe it. I know it for a fact. Historically, mathematically, economically, microeconomics, it's coming. But can you make it long enough to realize it? And at the time when it does happen, will you be in a position to capitalize on it? Hey, folks, links down below in the description. If you need to, reach out, feel free. And until next time, you guys take care. Be safe. Stay smart. Stay frosty. Watch your six. And I'll see you guys real soon.